Have a good day. Today we are going to discuss about surviving sepsis campaign. These are actually the guidelines launched in 2020 about the pediatric sepsis management. We are honored to have with us Dr. Sadiq Mirza, who is senior PICU consultant in Indus Hospital, Karachi. Hello, sir.
Hello, hi.
Thanks for sharing your time, sir, and we will benefit from your knowledge and experience.
Thank you, Shazad, for this nice effort. This effort is especially good for pediatric critical care medicine doctors, and this will definitely update these healthcare providers.
Thank you, sir. Sir, after 2017 American Sepsis Guidelines, now there is a new campaign started and organized. Sir, please share the agenda of this campaign.
Yes, well, this campaign was started in 2018,
Okay.
and 49 international experts from 12 international organizations took part for establishing these guidelines.
Okay.
And this campaign was then subdivided into 6 groups.
Okay.
The first was recognition and management of infection. The second was hemodynamics and resuscitation. The third was related to ventilation. And the fourth was endocrine and metabolic therapies.
Okay.
The fifth was adjunctive therapies.
Okay.
And the sixth was research priorities.
Okay. Sir, please share with us the few recommendations that evolved.
There are 77 statements that were considered and recommended.
Okay.
6 are strongly recommended, 52 are weakly recommended. And there are 9 are best practice statements and 10 are in our practice statements.
Thank you, sir. Sir, please share with us the few strong recommendations of the Surviving Sepsis 2020 campaign.
Strong recommendations are use of antibiotics within 1 hour of recognition of sepsis.
Okay.
If CVP cultures are positive, then immediately remove the line. No use of insulin to target blood sugar of 140 per deciliter. No use of colloid as a bolus in children. And no use of inhaled nitric oxide in sepsis-induced ARDS.
Okay. Sir, we came to know that campaign has revised the guidelines about the boluses therapies in secondary care and the tertiary care settings. Sir, what are the recommendations?
Yes, if there is a secondary care setting and if the patient is not hypotensive, do not use bolus.
Okay.
If hypotensive, do not go above 40 ml per kg in 1 hour. But if there is tertiary care settings,
Okay.
bolus up to 60 ml per kg can be used in abnormal perfusion, either hypotensive or not.
Okay. Sir, thank you very much. These new guidelines are very beneficial and these would help our doctors and practitioners either working in secondary care settings or tertiary care settings. And if you have any questions, please comment below and we will definitely answer your queries about it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shazad.